Hello, my name is Janel Reyes, and this is my video submission for assignment 2 regarding about the bones of the head and neck. My topic is going to identify the facial bones from an anterior view. Within the facial bones from an anterior view consist of the lacrimal bone, nasal bone, vomer, inferior nasal concha, zygomatic bone, the maxilla, and the mandible. And last is going to be the palatine bone, although this is not considered a bone from the anterior view, but it's under the general heading of facial bones. The first one up is going to be the lacrimal bone. The lacrimal bone is a paired facial bone forming the medial walls of the orbit, and the orbit is the eye cavity containing the eyeball. So to the right is a picture from the anatomy textbook, and then to the left is a picture that I took from the skull that I checked out from anatomy class. And this is the lacrimal bone. Next is a nasal bone. It's a paired facial bones forming the bridge of the nose, and within the nasal bone is the nasal cavity, so there's one on each side. Next is the vomer. It's a single facial bone forming the posterior part of the nasal septum. So this is the septum, and then this would be considered the vomer. Next is going to be the inferior nasal concha. It's a paired facial bone projecting inwardly from the maxilla, forming the walls of the nasal cavity. So you can see it's right here. It's a little pointy, bony structure, and there's one on the other side if my pen wasn't covering it. And then next is going to be the zygomatic bone. It's a paired facial bone forming the cheekbones. So this would be, this entire thing would be the zygomatic bone. And then as you can see here, this is going to be the zygomatic arch. And then same thing on the other side. Next is going to be the maxilla. It's considered the complete or the partial upper jaw. So this entire thing would be the maxilla. And then inferior to that is going to be the mandible. It's a single facial bone articulating bilaterally with the temporal bones of the temporomandibular joint, also known as TMJ. And then you can also see like the mentalic foramen over here as well. Last is going to be the palatine bone. It's a paired bone of the skull consisting of the vertical and horizontal plates. So these two, and this would be like the inferior view of the skull. And that's it. I hope this helps you study for the exam, and yeah, have a good night.